I'm so happy you're here. Let me say that again. I'm Debbie at HitchedAway, and today is the day you get to ask me anything you want. Well, you can ask me anything you want on most days, but most Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern, I go live, and today's one of those Sundays. I hope you had a good week, and I hope you're looking forward to the week to come. If you are joining me on the live page at HitchedAway, thankfully, so thankful you're here. Um, I'm also streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. So here's how this works. If you're watching live on the website at hitchedaway.com live, you can hear and see everything. However, if you hop on over to Facebook, facebook.com/hitchedaway, you can actually join in the conversation by sharing your comments. And the same is true if you're joining on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@hitchedaway. And if you post your comments there, I'll let everyone know. I'll share what it is that you have to say. So please, I'm looking over here. If you're joining me live, I'd love to know that you're here. Please post your name and tell me where you're joining from. I'm currently on the East Coast in right outside of Washington, D.C., and it's pretty cold today. So I'd love to know where you are. Please just type in the chat. Again, if you're joining live, well, clearly you're live if you're listening. Well, you might be listening to the recording later on. But on Facebook, go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/hitchedaway, and type your comment in there. Or if you're on YouTube, go to youtube.com/hitchedaway and type your comment there. All right. So recently, a few weeks ago, I went to Tulum in Mexico. And the reason for that visit was to look at different venues where you can have your destination wedding. If you're not aware, HitchedAway is a resource to help anyone who's thinking about having a destination wedding. I specialize in the Caribbean, but also wanted to find out what was going on beyond the Caribbean. So that's what HitchedAway's goal is. So in that vein, I want to go out and see other places. And Mexico is a very popular destination for weddings right now and has been for some time. If you're on the East Coast, getting to Mexico is fast and it's usually quite affordable. There are several resorts to choose from that are willing and waiting and anxiously want you to have their wedding there. Most of these resorts are all inclusive, not all of them. Cancun is the airport I flew into, and Cancun has several resorts. I actually went to Tulum, which is about an hour and a half drive from Cancun. And that's where I was set up for 4 days and looked at a few different places. And today I want to share some of that, some of what I viewed and what I saw with you today. Now, I know how boring it can be when someone goes on vacation. They just have tons and tons of photos and videos to show you. Hopefully that's not the case. So I'll show you some today, and then I'll show you some again next week. So you're not completely, you're not falling asleep, right? Okay. So if you're here though, please do me a favor. Let me know you're here. Post in the chat. Tell me your name and tell me where you're watching from. I would love to acknowledge your presence here. Okay. So as I said, I went to Tulum, and the hotel I stayed in as the home base was the Hilton Tulum all-inclusive. That is a location that you can have your wedding. On a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being brilliant for a wedding, my feedback, my honest review for Tulum, the Hilton all-inclusive, was about a 2.5. And I'll show you some footage of that resort, but there were some others that definitely superseded the Hilton Tulum all-inclusive. But let me give you a glimpse of what it was like. So on the first night I arrived, I was part of a group, and there was a welcome reception. And during the welcome reception, as it, was for everyone to say hello. And what the hotel was doing was setting it up in a way so that we could see what it looks like if you were having your wedding reception or party or celebration. So maybe, you're having your wedding and this is the first night when everybody is arriving and checking in. And then you have a welcome reception for all of your guests. So this is the setup for that location. Before I do that, I just want to make sure I say, acknowledge and say hello to Janice. Thank you. Hi, Janice. Great to see you. Who's joining us from Cheverly. Now, I don't want to assume that you know where Cheverly is, but I happen to know that Cheverly is a town in the state of Maryland in the U.S. So that is where Janice is. Janice, I've told the whole world where you are. Well, you kind of said where it was, but I just broke it down. So thank you for joining me, Janice. So happy you're here. Really appreciate it. All right. So let me give you a glimpse of this, of the arrival, the welcome reception when I got to Tulum. And this was hosted by Classic Vacations, which is the supplier who I do business with. If we work together and you want to get married in Mexico or the Caribbean, I'm going to work with Classic Vacations to get everything set up for you. So that's just to give you some context. You don't have to worry too much about them. Oh, let's see. I saw them setting it up early. It's probably going to look really nice. And just so you know, the dress code was tropical chic. Let's find my note right color. Really nice. Ooh, pretty. Look at that. Really nice setup here. I loved how this looks with the lights in the backdrop there. Really, imagine you're welcome to that. Beautiful. Hi. Are you who I think you are?
Am I?
No, you're not. But that's okay. Daniel, I'm Debbie.
Hi,
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, what are we doing here? We're collecting more stuff?
If you already registered, that's fine. This is just for the ones that were.
Oh, okay, done. I can't double dip. All right. Hello. So the lights, I think with the white furniture, it's a really nice, simple setup. And you don't need too much decor when you're in a place like Mexico, right? This is the bar. You got to have the bar. And you'll see the touches with the monstera leaves and such. It wasn't as warm as I thought it would be in Mexico, but it wasn't cold. But I had on long sleeves and I was happy I had on long sleeves. Hi. Okay. I don't know. Vodka grapefruit juice? We didn't have grapefruit juice. Huh?
We don't have a grape.
What do you have?
For the orange, pineapple, and lemon.
Maybe some pineapple.
Pineapple and vodka?
Yeah. Please. So this would be the bar you'd have, and of course it's all-inclusive. No one's paying for their drinks. And you want to make sure they have the stuff that you want. For example, I want a grapefruit juice. They didn't have that. I'm making it sound like it's the end of the world. It wasn't, but. So that was the setup, the welcome reception. So you can see, right, how this might be a good setup for your welcome reception. December in Mexico was not as warm as I thought it would be. As I said, I had on long sleeves and I was so happy I had on long sleeves. The nights are cool. And during the day, it was a little cooler than expected, although I heard there was a bit of a cold spell going through. Nothing like what we're experiencing now, but just be aware of that. But it was, I don't know what you think of that setup. It was very appealing to the eye. You know, you got the music going, and I can see how that would be very welcoming for your welcome reception. All right, so that was the first night. On the second day, we visited a couple of resorts, and one of my favorites is Secrets Akumal. And let's see. I'm going to show you what this looks like. Nope, that's not the one. Let's try this.
Yes.
You'll see. Now, this space is really, really lush. And that alone is just a completely different vibe. So I want you to imagine your folks walking through that and seeing the setup for either the wedding or maybe, again, a reception or a welcome party. So this is a completely different property.
Look, there are people saving seats already. Look at that. Oh, all right. Where's the group?
And you'll see the floral of the table, just something different.
Oh, is this the entire group? No, they've moved on, right? Oh, did we get lost? Yeah, I'm like.
But the landscaping at this property is fantastic. Take a look. Tell me if you agree.
It would seem. Oh, where? Oh, this way. Thank you. Going. We're going.
I didn't notice. I'm sorry. I think I slowed it down.
That's okay. It was such a lovely spot.
So really easy on the eyes here.
Really outstanding.
I just wanted to get you to see this other spot as we're walking through. And you
Maybe that's why the palm comes from.
Yeah. But the foliage, the landscaping is wonderful. Where are they?
That's a good vibe.
Yeah.
No kidding.
No kidding. That's exactly it.
Oh, by the way, the theme for this was something blue. So you'll see a lot of us in blue. That's what that's about. Not important, but another pool and always with a drinking hand, right?
Indeed, yeah.
So we're walking to another setup here. You'll see this is one of, I think they had about 4 or 5 pools here.
Here, yeah, I don't hear by myself.
I just want to get you to that other spot.
Well, I don't, this is the thing, but it just seems so
Let me see if we can
romantic. It
move
just
that
seems like someplace with someone.
Yeah.
So a lot of foliage, but again, foliage, I'm not saying it the right way. And then another setup here where you could have your wedding. So do you see this area here? And that area would be closed off, so you wouldn't have the public coming through there. So this would be a great backdrop for your wedding. I'm going to pause it right there. So you can imagine your guests sitting, and then the view would be the water and the outdoorsy feel out there.
All right. Ready for the let you know all the floral arrangements.
So there.
It is an upgrade for our weddings. All right.
It's kind of in a tunnel,
an idea for
but I love this spot. I think this is a great, great spot for a wedding. Again, this area would be closed off to the public, and your guests would come in, so the couple would be sitting, and this would be the backdrop. So Secrets Akumal is fabulous for this. It's a really, really great, great venue. There's another part that I want to show you too. So Secrets Akumal, we didn't stay, it wasn't the host hotel, but out of the hotels we visited, this is one of my tops. So I would love, I would encourage you, this is a hotel that I would say yes for clients. The food was very good here. And I say that, I don't say that lightly, because the food at the Hilton All-Inclusive, where I was based, it was just okay. It wasn't terrible, but it was nothing nothing to talk about. Janice says, what did she say? Oh, I thought you said something, Janice. Where is she? Janice says she loves, come on. Janice says she loves outdoor weddings. Yeah, there's something very special and romantic about that. Me too. So that's Secret Akumal. I wanted to show when you're having a wedding, whether it's local or away, right? You want to create an experience. It's not just about the logistics. You know, we have a welcome party, then we're going to have the wedding, then we're going to have the reception, and then we're going to have. You got to think about what is the experience that you want your guests to have. So Secrets Akumal has set up a sushi bar. So I'm just fascinated watching this guy make sushi. I'm not a sushi connoisseur by any stretch of the imagination, but it was quite fun to watch. So here's the sushi.
Oh my God, it was a pun. So you had a made-to-order sushi roll? Mm-hmm. Sushi roll, is that the right term? Sushi roll, or is it just sushi? Yes. Sushi roll, okay. You're right. And then there's like saying, I didn't like saying ATM machines. Like I don't want to be a double.
There's nigiri, which is the rice bars with the fish on top.
Okay, tell them to make something for me, Autumn.
What do you do with it?
I don't know.
Shrimp? That's fake crab. Yeah, you could do this.
Oh, that's the crab sticks, eh? This is fake crab.
Oh, absolutely.
I like the eel if it's cooked.
It looks cooked.
Go away, Fly. We don't have time for you now.
You got cucumber.
Oh, cucumber. That sounds good. Okay, so maybe I can do my own thing.
Yeah, good. Just
all
put
right.
it together. I always like cream cheese. Some of my eel and try
Cream
it.
cheese? Where do you see that? In a row.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. My sushi palette is expanding, y'all.
I already know what I'm getting.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Here, try some eel.
Eel? Okay.
Here, I'll hold your plate.
This is the eel. Just hold up my hand. That's good?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Maybe one go? Or bite?
One bite.
I like it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what do you want? What are you going to have?
That was good. Something's giving it a kick. What did you put some kind of sauce in there?
Nope, no sauce.
Okay.
Just how it barbecued the eel.
Okay, so I want the barbecued eel. Oh my God, there's kiwi. Who puts kiwi in sushi?
Everybody.
Okay, all right,
You
sorry.
can put anything in sushi.
So I can try the eel. Mm-hmm. And the cucumber. And cucumber. And what else did you put in yours that gave it a taste? What else do you have in yours?
Carrot.
Some what? Carrots? Oh, wow. Boo. Okay, carrots.
Cream cheese.
And some cream cheese. I knew I was tasting something kind of, and that was it?
I could have shared with you. You could have had some of mine.
And what did you have shrimp in yours? Okay, I want shrimp in mine because Autumn didn't have shrimp in hers. Are you going to be able to roll it with all the stuff?
Shrimp?
The shrimp, yeah. Okay, I'm done now. Don't want to be greedy. Let's see. Am I supposed to have dinner tonight? Not happening. Did you have sushi already?
I didn't have it fresh made.
Huh?
I didn't have it fresh.
You got to roll with Autumn, baby.
Fancy over here.
Yeah, right. And there's a line of people behind me, and I'm here playing the fool. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to eat dinner. Gracias. Thank you. Gracias. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, I want to fall in the water.
Where do you want it?
I guess.
Okay. So my sushi exploration is limited at best, but I loved the sushi I had. So I had barbecued eel, carrots, cream cheese. I didn't know you could put cream cheese in sushi. As you saw, they had kiwi fruit, but the sushi was good. But my point is, outside of my limited sushi palette, is that's an experience. And I think this is something you should have at your wedding. For folks who love sushi, they're going to love it. Folks who don't think they want sushi, I mean, that's interactive and people can pick what they want and choose and taste. And, you didn't see my facial expression when I actually tried the sushi, but I filled my face with sushi, and then they had a great dinner for us later, and I couldn't eat dinner because I filled my face with sushi. But I don't know. If you're a sushi person, I don't know if that's a sushi connoisseur, you'll love this. If you're not, like I said, it's a great thing to have. So this is available at Secrets Akumal, but this is something that may be available at other resorts, but they really made a big deal out of it, and it was great. Okay, so once we left Secrets Akumal, then we headed on over to the Palladium White Sand. And what they set up for us there was a mock wedding. Now, whether you know it or not, same-sex weddings are limited at best in the Caribbean. There are only a handful of islands where couples of the same sex can legally tie the knot. In Mexico, that is much more the norm. And let me show you this mock wedding. I believe it was mock. I don't think they really got married. And it was a couple, but just pay attention to the couple that's coming down the aisle. Once I get out the way of the shot.
Say yes or do as a best friends, but it's very important that you keep saying I do every single day, every single moment, because the person that today is standing right now in front of you holding your hands, it is not the same one that you met around 3 years ago. You're not the same person you were yesterday, and tomorrow you will not be the same one, because every single day, every single moment.
This is a mock wedding, and you can see the setup there, the dark with the arch, and again late at night. So this is just to give you some eye candy as to what's possible. So an outdoor wedding is great, but an outdoor wedding at night is something magical too. Of course, weather permitting. Again, it was a little cool that night, but I didn't have my jacket on, and or maybe it was maybe it was just the alcohol. But after a while, you know, the chill is not such a thing. So this is at Palladium, and then you know they had a great party after. Let's see, let me show you. So this is what it looks like when everybody comes from the hold on. I think I've got to bring this back here. Sorry. So this is how it looks when you walk into the reception area. Again, the light, the music. The dish, the flatware, the plates, and so forth. Very Mexican feel.
Hey, Chuck. What up? That's what's up.
And then the couple would have their video right there on that screen. That would be playing all night. And you got these, characters that are doing this all night through. So again, this is just to give you an idea of the experience of what's possible. I know they were going all out because we were there to, observe, but these are elements I think that you can add to any wedding, local or away, but it's important not to fill in those spaces. We've all been to an event where we're waiting for the food to come out, or we're waiting for them to serve the appetizer, or we're waiting. So in the meantime, you have the DJ pumping some really good music. The lights, the look is fantastic. And then you saw those, I don't know what you want to call those performers that were doing this thing. And all of that is eye candy. So these are elements that you want to add. A lot of times there's an extra cost associated, but in the whole scheme of things, it's absolutely worth it, because these are the things that your guests are going to remember, right? So that was at the Palladium. I don't want to, I was going to show you one other spot, which is my absolute favorite. And that's at Unico. And I want you to see this. So we saw this very glitz, very bright color, nighttime setup there. Earlier, I showed you the daytime one, which was a little low key. But take a look at the Unico spot, which is a little different. And tell me what you think of that. Here is this property, and you'll see it's open, very modern look. And you can see the layout there. It's a very modern vibe. Still, we're in Tulum, but just a different sort of layout there. Landscaping still really on point, but not that heavy foliage that we saw at Secrets Akumal. Sprawling location. And then look at this setup right here. So you could have your welcome reception or your wedding reception right here at this spot. So if you can see that there, it's very simple, but this could work, right? And you see the big LOVE letters in the back. Now, I also want to show you another spot here at Unico. And this is another space for your wedding. Let me give you the walk-in. So you come in, your guests are walking in, and this is what they see. They've got the servers waiting for them here. This space is divine.
Thank you.
They're serving popsicles, some virgin, some unvirgin. But this works if the weather isn't permitting, and even if the weather is permitting, some folks want to be in an area where the climate is controlled. There are no walls there. This is just open walls. And then the ceremony is right at the center. That would be the altar there in the aisle for the small wedding ceremony. And then, of course, you got to have the bar, right? So this is what your wedding in Mexico could look like, right? Not every wedding has to be on the beach. In fact, I don't think I've shown you any weddings on the beach yet with toes in sand. Many couples want the tropical, the exotic destination, but they still want to be able to wear their heels. They want their guests to be comfortable. So in the setup here, we were in a covered room. The walls were open, but it still felt controlled. There were fans. It was a lovely, airy space. And you're in a destination, you're in Mexico, but not necessarily on the beach with folks with, the guy in the Speedo walking by and the resort where all of the onlookers can see. Because a lot of times you can set up a private spot, but you want some privacy. This location at Palladium, at Unico, is completely private and it's very airy. Janice says, nice. She loves how open it is along with the outdoors. Exactly. So you can have a bit of both. And this was about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening. Not too many, I didn't have any problems with mosquitoes or bugs. We did a room tour and there was some sort of animal. I don't know what type of animal this was. I got to show, we're out of time, but I will show you next week. But this is just to give you an idea. Now, you may recall we were having this conversation and I said, I went to Cancun a few years ago. I wasn't impressed. Tulum has given me a different lease on life, but a different outlook for what's possible. Your wedding doesn't have to be cookie cutter. These are just examples of the things you can do. And there are so many different elements that you can add for your wedding and still come out paying less for that wedding than you would to have all of those elements at your hometown. So Tulum is definitely a place that I would recommend, and Secrets Akumal and Unico are coming up as two of the leaders right here. So Unico was the property we just looked at together. So next week, if you can bear it, I'll show you the other half of the trip. But I just want to put do you have any questions or any comments, any feedback, please share now. Like I said, if you're on Facebook, you can join Janice. You can join Janice. You can join Janice and I, or Janice and me. Or if you're on YouTube, any questions or comments you have. And even if not right now, just reach out to me, Debbie at HitchedAway.com, and I'd be happy to help you put all of the pieces together. So whether you're having a wedding, a few people, a handful of people, maybe less than 10, maybe less than 20, or you envision something with a lot more people, you'll see all the ceremony setting at for all the ceremonies the ceremony at Unico had just a few chairs. But I mean, once you say what your head count is, then you can, accommodate. They can say, okay, we can have it here, we can have it there. You don't have to have your wedding on a beach with toes in the sand. Now, if that's what you want, that's fine. But it doesn't work for everyone. You can still have the elements there. Maybe you have your welcome party on the beach, but you have the wedding on the sky terrace or on the patio, so you can wear those 4-inch killer heels with your gown. You know what I mean? So a lot of different options. And also remember, Mexico welcomes same-sex weddings. That's going to be a much more difficult task. Not impossible, but a much more difficult task in the Caribbean. The food, and I'm going to go into detail of that next time. The food wasn't great at the Hilton Tulum All-Inclusive, but the folks at Secrets Akumal did a great job. Palladium White Sand, which is where the reception was, where you saw the person with the flowers and the same-sex wedding there. I ate too much sushi, so I couldn't eat any food at dinner. I can't tell you how great the food was, but a few of my colleagues said it was good. It was fair. And at Unico, we just had a few bites to eat, but we had the popsicles. It was a really, really great atmosphere. Just Court is joining us. Good to see you, Just Court. Just Court says great footage. Thank you. I hope you found that helpful. it's good to see, right? Because you can, the websites, the resorts will always make their property look outstanding, but it's good to go see it firsthand. I have to, listen, there's just so much footage that I have there, but I was just trying to put the highlights there. Janice says, what do you say? You say you want to see the animal? Oh yeah. I don't know what animal that was. I just like, what is that? And it came anyway. I'll show that to you next week. So yeah, you got to come back for that. But thank you so much for joining me. If you or someone you know wants to tie the knot, or hey, if you're already married and you're saying we want to have a wedding again, why not renew your vows, retie the knot, and go to Mexico or go to the Caribbean? You can do that. It doesn't have to be a milestone anniversary. It can be for any. Look, there are some folks who got married a year ago and they're renewing their vows a year later. You could just go. Just go if the wedding you had wasn't what you really wanted, or you're just vibing to go to the Caribbean or Mexico for your wedding. Renew your vows and go. I'd love to help you with that. We can explore the locations based on the head count, based on your budget, based on your style. Do you want something clean and modern? Do you want something a little more frou-frou and frilly? You know what I mean? There are lots of different options, and I'd love to be the person to help you make up your mind there. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you next time, God willing, at 3 p.m. Eastern. If you're not following HitchedAway on Facebook, please follow HitchedAway on Facebook. Please follow HitchedAway on Instagram, and please follow the YouTube channel too at HitchedAway. All right. Good to see you. God bless. Take care. Have a good good week. And a special thank you to Janice and Courtney for joining in the comments this week. Bye.